Flatland, the vast land. They practice for hours in their solitude. The smallest of movements matter. Focus, agility, and the crowds came to cheer. Some of the riders that made an impression on us all included Dave Smith, riding with some super difficult tricks.
Dave Smith out of Long Beach, California, one of the most aggressive flatland riders, has some long flowing winks, made a huge impression on the judges and the crowd. Dave was awesome this day, not quite enough to make it to the finals though.
Gabe Weed, he loves to please the crowd and he loves to spin.
Tons and tons of shows with GT bikes all over the country. Gabe Weed, always a crowd favorite and one of mine too. Upside down on the back wheel, spinning like crazy. Gabe Weed going off.
Steve Mulder, a veteran in the sport, whose first goal was to qualify for the X Games.
Steve had a lot of original tricks, some of the hardest tricks in the competition. Right here, all over the bike, corner clean, and watch this in one of my favorite moves. Little street influence right here. Yeah, the reverse whopper.
Perry Mervar, back from a 6-year hiatus, he still reminded us of the Perry Doom.
All the way from the pegs to the handlebars. It's been out for 10 years. Perry Mervar still doing the trick, an incredibly hard trick to do.
Sean Peters, he brings with him a super aggressive style.
The master of the spin. Tight circles, high-speed action, just like Michael Jackson on fire. Look out!
And Andrew Faris providing Flatland with the newest tricks of the day.
One of my favorite riders, has some fresh new moves coming out this year. A lot of creative, somewhat street influence riding. Andrew Faris going off for the crowd.
Down from 20, 4 riders remain for the final. It's truly an international field, led by 2-time X Games gold medalist, Trevor Meyer. Welcome back to the pier for the Bike Flatland final. 20 devoted athletes started this competition, and now only 4 remain. And just to get into the final, they had to have 4 consistent runs. Now that they're here, they're judged on 2 of their 3 of the best runs for X Games gold. Michael Steingraber not only brought innovation with his difficult tricks, but also his unique approach to his handlebar configuration.
I came up with the design. The idea behind it is I can turn it around 180 degrees, like half a turn, and it feels the same. So that's pretty good for Flatland. You got to get used to it at the beginning, but then it kind of opens new possibilities for you. You can do a trick where you turn the bars around halfway and it still feels the same, so that's pretty good.
Mike Steinergraber from Germany, unique handlebar setup, really allows him to do a lot of tricks other riders don't do. Another thing about Mike, he doesn't use any brakes at all. He uses his foot for scuffing and stopping, a scuffing trick right there. You can see where he's bouncing on the tire, scuffing his wheel and just coasting along.
Steve, the format of this competition has changed so much. It used to be that if you touch maybe once or twice, you'd be docked a lot of points. But nowadays, with difficult tricks like Michael is trying, if you touch, it's okay because you're trying some hard, progressive tricks.
Absolutely, Paul. It's definitely one of the things the judges are looking for. Unique, creative tricks, something they've never seen before, something the riders aren't doing. Mike right there making the switch right there on the scuff. And another big switch right there. Great difficulty. Judges loving Mike's run.
Short, hard tricks for Michael earned him a 4th place spot. Talking about 4th place, Nathan Penonzek coming into the games has 2 consecutive 4th place finishes. This year, it would be different.
Nate had a great run last year, taking 4th place. How he did it was long, consecutive tricks, a huge length, taking up almost the entire length of the time. This year, the format's a little bit different. Nate changing his riding style and really showing off what he can do right here on the front wheel, spinning like crazy.
A young guy with a lot of progressive tricks. He's got a great future in this sport.
Absolutely. Hasn't competed at all this year under the new format. First competition is the X Games, and he rode incredibly well.
So Nathan Penonzek finally goes from 4th place to 3rd. He wins a bronze medal at the X Games.
Came out with a different attitude. Last year, not to say my attitude was bad, but I've changed a few things, I guess. I think that the easiest way to do it is have fun. I guess I don't know, I seem, if I'm having fun in a contest, I seem to do better. And if I'm shaking and tense, obviously it affects your riding because that's not how I ride at home. I don't ride shaking and nervous, so if you try to make it fun, it relaxes me.
Well, talking about having fun, Phil Dolan picked up his flow, ending with a positive impression on the judges. For his effort, Phil Dolan earned himself a silver medal.
Phil had great runs all afternoon, really impressing the judges. Unique riding style. Hasn't competed in the state since last year's X Games. Unbelievable moves, though. Back-to-back switches. Watch the feet right here. Letting go of the frame, having to come back around, and he keeps going, scuffing the tire.
A lot of moves on the front wheel, as you said, but he showed the judges he can do it on the rear of the bike as well.
Phil was all over it this week. On the bike, on the back wheel. Yeah, upside down switch and riding it out. Phil right here, watch the feet. Scuffing the tire right there, releasing the frame, up and over the frame, and he's still scuffing, never stopping his movement. Ending up with the bars backwards, switching his feet again. And now changing direction on the bike, racking up the technically difficult points the judges love to see.
Steve, you are so right. Phil Dolan racked up enough points to get the silver medal. Well, we all came to see if Trevor Meyer would once again get the gold medal for his third consecutive time. Here, he gives us his own version.
Okay, right now I'm just, I'm setting up here for my first trick. I'm going into a backwards hitchhiker here. And this trick I worked on for, I don't know, I'd have to say at least 2-3 months, hard practice. And then right now I'm setting into a side scuff here. And I end up flipping the bars around to a half-packer side scuff coasting trick. I just try to coast that out real smooth. Try to stay with a real smooth, clean style. Flip the frame around to do a couple tail spins. And right here I'm just setting up for my next trick. Okay, right there I go into elephant glide, coasting. And I end up pulling out clean. I was stoked. And then right here I'm going for one of my hardest tricks. It's a trick that I made up that's totally original. It's a death truck. I throw my foot around the head tube there, coast it, no hands right here, coast it backwards and forward, and then pull out. I was like really stoked to be able to hit that. That's like a really hard trick, and the crowd was really into it, so it worked out good. So yeah, I had a good time.
Trevor, we also had a good time. And for all the individual hours that you guys put in, well, it all paid off today. Here's our final leaderboard. Nathan Penonzek from Canada, he gets the bronze medal. Phil Dolan out of Great Britain with the silver. And Trevor Meyer, once again, wins the gold medal. The golden boy of Flatland proved once again his skill would earn himself a title. There's a charm, they say, and for Trevor Meyer, the middle school became Titanic. As